Alright guys, so a quick confession, I am an idiot, so I had Noah Kagan on this week for the podcast, and halfway through the recording, my computer crashed and the file was corrupted, so I was only able to save the last 5 minutes or so of the interview. Super amateur mistake. So I'll just do a quick recap of kind of what we talked about and what's left in the interview. And it's a big pity because he's the guy of AppSumo, big guest, and to make an amateur mistake like this is kind of stupid on me. Alright, so in this interview we talked about a tool called SumoMe, which was a tool that they use internally in AppSumo that Noah talked about. So AppSumo is basically a company where they do flash sales, kind of like a Groupon, and they do deals with Wistia, kind of Zero, things like that, where you get huge discounts for a limited time. And to build that business, they needed an email list, content analytics, and heat maps. And late last year, they opened this platform to the rest of the world. So SumoMe is essentially what they use internally, and now it's available as kind of a platform for everyone to use. And so if you listen to the end, there's also an exclusive deal that Noah gave to us just for the Build My Online Store listeners. So let's get into what SumoMe is about. So what makes it different is that traditionally, when you look at like email captures and getting leads, it's a big Frankenstein solution where you have Aweber, MailChimp, Infusionsoft as your opt-in box, and then you have, say, Crazy Egg for heat maps, and then Google Analytics that kind of ties everything together. And so you're going to have all these different platforms to link into, and what SumoMe does is it's all in one in a very simple dashboard. So if you go to either buildmyonlinestore.com or ballofleather.com, you'll probably see this right now. I've installed it on both sites, and the cool thing is that it takes less than 10 minutes to install. And the primary things I'm using on both sites are 1, list builder, 2, heat maps, and 3, content analytics. And I'll go into a little bit about each one. So list builder is basically an exit pop-up that has one thing called smart mode, which is really cool. So smart mode basically detects when people are going to drop on your website, and then through an algorithm they have, it shows a pop-up. And the cool thing about this pop-up is that traditionally, you have to go in to get a plugin or design the code in your email software and then kind of customize it to get this on. But with SumoMe, it's all designed within this platform. You see live changes, you can change the call to action button, all the things like that, the font, size of the font, things like that. It's very editable and very clean layout too. You can get it set up really in under 10-15 minutes. And there are also certain rules that you can do. So for example, for Ball of Leather, I have the pop-up not showing on checkout pages, because if someone's already checking out, you don't need to hit them with the pop-up. And you can also set certain triggers where if they visited your site for 2-3 days, you can not show them the pop-up. You can set certain time limits where it shows again. So very customizable thing that you should add. And one of the things with the Pro version is that it has an A/B tester built in. So that means if you're trying to test different opt-in offers, you can just split test it within the same dashboard. And then they have a backend that gives you the analytics on which one's better, and then you can tweak it from there. All right, so second is heat maps. And heat maps, traditionally, I've used something called Crazy Egg, where basically it's a third-party plugin that you have to install the code in your header, and then you go to their platform and it tells you what people are clicking, what people aren't. So the heat map side is fairly standard across most platforms. It's just that with SumoMe, it's built into the same dashboard, so you don't have to log into different places, and you can see what you can change right away, all within the same dashboard. Okay, and third is content analytics. So content analytics tells you how many people are scrolling on a page with your content. So if you have a sales page, product page, about us page, you can see how many people are actually making it through to the bottom. And if not, you can change your call to actions, put them above the fold, things like that, and do optimization from there. So before this interview, Noah was actually kind of grilling me on what my store was doing. So I gave him my store, ballofleather.com, and he gave me kind of a pretty rough breakdown on what he would do, kind of some blunt feedback. And he was telling me, look, I'm only converting at about 2% of my sales. So that means more than 90% of the people are going to the store and leaving. And if I'm not capturing emails, I'm really leaving a lot on the table, because most people who find the store, they're probably not ready to buy right away. Maybe they just want to check out the products and see what's there later. And the truth is, wallets aren't an immediate purchase. For example, say you have a bicycle and your wheels popped, buying a replacement wheel is a lot more urgent than a new wallet at some point. And knowing a lot of guys, a lot of people just put off the wallet purchase for months, if not years later, until it completely breaks down and they actually need a new one too. So that's why Noah was driving me really hard to push for email signups. And from the SumoMe data, they have tens and thousands of customers. He was saying if you do a discount code, 15 to 20% off is the sweet spot. And just to be clear, I don't know if that works for everyone, depending on your business model. I don't know if 15% or 20% is applicable for you if you have that kind of margin space. But basically, that's the sweet spot to get opt-ins from his data. And so to look at SumoMe, the way to think about it is that it's a tool to get people into your door and to stay in your door, but to keep people in there, it's up to you and your product and your marketing and your business to make sure they stay, and they can't help you with that. So in the end, SumoMe is a tool that basically gets emails for you, gets people's contact information, and then for you, you got to do the follow-up and get the sale down the line too. All right, so with that being said, let's check out the remainder of this interview and the kind of secret gift that Noah gave us towards the end. So they were using heat maps to kind of change what people are clicking, what aren't clicking. Did they use anything else that had quick wins with SumoMe besides that?
I think that's a huge one, right? Like seeing where people are clicking and moving things around. I think with the other thing is content analytics, which is one of our tools, is that you can see how far people are scrolling on your page. So on one of our sales pages, we found that people are scrolling only about 40% of it. And so what you can do with that is either, use a, scroll box pop-up. So we have a tool called Scrollbox, which is like ask for an email address at a certain percent of the page. Or you can put your calls to action above where people are falling out. So for sales pages or landing pages, content analytics has been really valuable because I'm like, holy crap, people are only making it 40%. I need to put my calls to action much higher above the fold, which was, pretty surprising.
Yeah, and it's funny because people will write content. Let's say you write like a 1,000-word blog post, but you don't even know if everyone's reading it to the end.
I mean, most people don't. I think you're generally pretty surprised when you're like, wow, no one reads my stuff. I think we all think they do because we spend so much time making it, but in reality, they don't.
All right, so we got heat maps, email capture, content thing. Is there another one we should be aware of?
Analytics is the scroll. No, I mean, those are the key things I would recommend because I think the problem is with life is that you generally are only going to remember one thing from this podcast. So I'd say number one, install SumoMe. Number two, install List Builder and start with that. I would recommend using A/B testing and trying two different options. And then from there, I would start tweaking with the other apps that we have available. So I would try out Share and I would try out heat maps. And then maybe from there, I would start exploring more. But, I would say keep things simple so you can really focus on that.
Gotcha. And also for listeners, there's a whole dashboard you can look into, really clean app store to look into also too.
Exactly.
Alrighty, so you got to get running. Let's just wrap things up. So just to put myself on the air, you gave me a couple suggestions earlier that I'm going to put myself, I'm going to record this and publish this. So I need to install SumoMe on my site, and I'm going to do that referral thing you told me. So basically,
just let me preference that. You have with your margins, it makes sense to do the referral because you can make a profit even on a referral if you gave one for free. Okay, and then what was the other thing you're gonna do?
Give a free wallet if you refer someone who can do a custom order for either a company or for themselves.
Yeah, I think that one, you're gonna collect email, but two, I think the fact that yours says pound baller on the wallet might turn off pretty much everyone. But I think that's one thing I want you to remember though. I think it's good if you're turning off everyone. I actually almost think your wallet should be like for Chinese dudes who like I don't know, HOT is a Korean band, but like something like very specific, because then it helps. Like the more you can turn away 99% and focus on the 1%, the easier it becomes. Because otherwise you're competing with, I just looked on Leather Wallet on Amazon. You're competing with like Tommy and Philip or, Ralph Lauren, all these guys. But if you were like, we are the ABC wallet, and every wallet comes with a fortune, like the more you can kind of target your customer, the easier your whole life will be. And I think we want to go to the middle because it seems safer. And we don't want to polarize people, but like if you're not doing that, it's just making your life so much harder, and it's less likely you're going to be as successful.
Yeah, and I feel like when you're in the middle, you just get silence, and that's probably like the worst thing of all.
Well, that's what I'm saying for you. You should I think baller may not be a bad thing. Maybe target Miami. I don't know. It seems like I would assume a lot of people from there. But I think the custom one is unique, right? Because I'm like, you could even do it as like company gifts. Because I'm like, damn, I've never seen a custom wallet as a gift. Because I would give it from my team possibly. And that's what I was saying to your audience or to your current customers. Your best customers are your current ones. I would go back to them and be like, hey, you probably didn't even notice we have custom. I'll do a custom one for you. You just have to like have one of your friends buy it or buy one and I'll give you two free or whatever it is. And it's still profitable for you.
Yeah. So like weddings, wedding gifts, things like that for grooms.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get actually your guys' stuff. I'm going to hook your audience up. All right. So anybody's watching for the next 48 hours, I'll put it for 2 weeks plus 2 hours, 50% off for 6 months of SumoMe, any of the options. And I'm only going to hook up with like 5 of them. I don't want this all around the world. So if they go use SumoMe, and you could do it yourself too, and I'm going to call it I Love Terry Lynn.
SumoMe.com/I Love Terry Lynn.
No. So if you install SumoMe, click buy. This is a little complicated, so pay attention here. If you go install SumoMe, go click buy on one of our pro options. What I'd recommend for everyone is List Builder Pro, so you can do the A/B testing, which will really help you. Then once you click buy, you click on the pop-up. It'll say like, hey, here's the pricing and everything. Click on the crown on the buying page, and it'll ask you for a VIP code. I know it's kind of a complicated thing, but we don't want this stuff out there for the world. So I'm just making it now. So the code is, you basically click start your trial, On the thing to like start your trial, you click on the crown and it'll give you a VIP code. You put in I love Terry Lynn, and this is only for your audience. It's gonna be available for the next 48 hours once they listen to this. And it's 50% off for 6 months, which is pretty fatty because one, you'll make your money back, and you'll be able to use all the power tools that we have available.
Yeah, and if you can't figure it out in 6 months, well, you got other problems.
Seriously, you should not be doing this. And then they can always like tweet at us or ask you if they're having any issues.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Noah, for hooking us up.
Yeah, man. All right, brother. I'm going to jet. And, so everyone else, check out Sumi.com. Grab your email people. And then, Terry, you're going to go get your custom leather stuff done. I'm curious to hear the results.
Yes, and thanks for giving me the teardown that I didn't record, unfortunately. But awesome.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Build My Online Store podcast. If you want the show notes, make sure to check out the website at buildmyonlinestore.com. If you got an e-commerce store, every 2 weeks I lead a live mastermind call with about 5 or 6 of the listeners in 2 separate groups where we work openly together and solve a business problem that you have. And we're all there to support each other. So if this sounds like your cup of tea, make sure to check us out at buildmyonlinestore.com/mastermind. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll catch up with you guys next week.